Alright, what's going on, guys? And welcome everybody back to another video. Now, today we're going to be testing out some pretty interesting secret changes that have been made in PUBG. Now, generally, PUBG will put out patches and list everything that, they altered in the game, but this doesn't always happen. Sometimes a change is made and either it slips through the patch notes or it was something that was either shadow buffed or nerfed. And today we're going to be looking at some pretty interesting changes that were not really well documented, but have been discovered at this point. So we're going to be testing out some of that stuff and then also experimenting with some new pieces of equipment in the game and seeing what works and what doesn't. So I think you guys are going to really find this video interesting. Now, also, I do have a pretty big quick announcement. After all this time, I have finally been made a PUBG partner. So what this is going to mean for you guys is that now I'll be able to share new content with you guys, and also I'll be part of the creator appreciation program. So if you guys purchase any skins or anything in game, you guys are able to type in my code, which then will help, support the channel and support everything. So that'll be great. But more information on that later. That'll all be coming this week. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I appreciate all of you guys sticking around and supporting the channel to make this thing possible. So without further ado, guys, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are brand new to the channel, but let's go ahead and let's get into this. Okay, so next we're going to visualize the differences between the bullet velocity with the M416 and the SCAR. So, for example, these two weapons have been pretty similar since, I don't know, PUBG came out. If you guys have been playing for a long time, or at least up until this last patch, these guns have been almost identical. The only differences were really in fire rate and some different recoil variations and things like that. But other than, those very specific things, they're virtually the same gun. Same damage, same bullet velocity, everything. But the M4 has been nerfed recently, and so we're going to show you just how much visually the bullet velocity actually matters. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to shoot this target right here, this very far set of 3, and using the time between I shoot and how it hits the target, you're going to see the differences between this and the SCAR. So I'm going to start with this one. So there's a little bit of time delay between those two. Now I'm going to switch to the SCAR, and in theory, this should be a little bit quicker. Get out of here, I'm trying to record. Leave. Stop, I'm doing science. Okay, so in theory, this should hit a little bit faster now. Yeah, you can definitely see that there. What's weird is that, the M4 now even drops off a little bit harder than it used to as well. So you're gonna have to compensate very slightly differently with these two weapons. The M4 is gonna drop a little bit more dramatically than the SCAR, which, granted, isn't terrible, but still, it will make a slight difference even at these ranges. Since the M4 nerf, I found it a little bit difficult, to reacquaint my muscle memory with the new velocities, just because I'm so used to these two weapons being the exact same way, having the exact same behavior. But as that's not the case anymore, it's really difficult to sort of get a handle back on these, you know what I mean? But this is definitely something to look out for. Okay, guys, so the first thing I want to take a look at is the Kar 98 and the Mosin. So I've got both here on me, both of the 15x scope. Now, this is as similar as you can make these two weapons, and for all intents and purposes, these are the same gun. Even according to PUBG, the statistics are absolutely identical. However, recently there seems to be some indication that there's a misalignment with some of these two weapons, especially when shooting at a pretty long distance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire at this wall. It's going to be past 500 meters, and we're going to see if we get any differences on where our bullets land between these two guns. The way we're going to do this is we're going to stand right here, and I'm going to put my 600 meter scope little dash, and we're going to line that up with the barrel. So we should be shooting directly at the wall at a pretty far distance, and we're going to see exactly where this bullet lands. So let's put it at about there. Okay, so we got our mark. Okay, so now let's try the Mosin. Now, it's not entirely obvious to say right now whether these are going to line up in the same spots, or whether at really specific distances something weird happens and it causes them to be misaligned. I honestly think, though, no matter what happens, the Mosin will be adjusted to some degree. Okay, so let's line that up with 600. Let's fire. That seems to sail a lot higher. Let me try that one more time, actually. I mean, one of the biggest complaints that people have had since day one, and even myself, it's just why have these two weapons if they're going to be identical? It just doesn't make sense to me. So let's see if there really isn't any truth to that. Okay, so that landed pretty much just above the barrel. And let's try this one more time. So the first time, the Mosin sailed a little bit higher. It may be only extreme distances where this matters, but still, it's worth noting for sure. That one looked a little higher as well. So what I think is going on here is there's a very, very slight misalignment. Now, we can try the 8x scope, but I don't know what sort of result we're going to get. So what we can do is put the end of this point on that barrel. It's hard to see where it lands, but I think I was able to see that. And then we can try the same thing with the Kar 98. And to me, it seems as if the Mosin's bullet just sails higher at long distances. Now, again, it doesn't, like, if you're shooting this up close, like anywhere, I don't know, 200, 300 meters or less, the differences are not going to make a difference at all. So what we'd have right here is, you know, approximately 50 meters out, and they're going to hit at the same time. They're going to travel at the same velocity as well. They do the same damage. But it just seems like at really long distances, something's off. But I think not only this is going to change in itself, but I believe the entire gun is going to get reworked. So don't expect this to be a permanent thing, but it is a very slight difference as of right now. Okay, so this next one's going to be pretty interesting. Now, what I want to test is I'm going to put this inside this building. Now, I have 3 gas cans here, and I'm going to see if when the C4 detonates, if all of these go with it. Now, the C4 is pretty dang rare to find in regular public matches. And you guys probably seen my video where I searched for hours and could not find one, but thankfully it's here in training mode. So the sheer power of this being able to go through walls and through buildings is something definitely to be reckoned with. So I'm gonna put this here. We're gonna set this and put it about right there. Now it's gonna count down from 16. So let's see the damage that it can do. I'm approximately, I don't know, 10 roughly meters right here, so I should get hit pretty hard when this goes off. I'm going to see how much health this actually takes away at this distance and see if... Jesus. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, so all of the gas cans with it too. The fences even exploded back here, which is something I just noticed. Wow, that is actually unreal. Okay, so what I'm going to do next actually is test if proning actually reduces C4 damage, because it definitely does work with frag grenades. Obviously, you guys know that if you go prone before a grenade goes off, it will give you a slight damage reduction. In terms of how much you'll take. So that's at least good to know. So what I think we should do is put it on the chair in here, and then we're going to lay down on the exact yellow line on the street, probably. So let's put this about right here. And then let's get on the yellow line on the street, and let's do it without proning first. So I'm just going to stand here when this blows up, and we're going to see what happens. So we want to be like on the yellow line. Now, if we take all damage here... Okay, so that would pretty much fully kill me. There's no difference about that at all. So now we can try the same thing, but let's try it proned out. Now, come back over to the spot. This is where we were. And let's go prone this time. I don't think this is going to work. But if it does, I'll be very impressed. Oh, it actually does. Wait, yo, it does. So let me repeat that one more time just to be sure. I may have been a little off the mark on the street, so it's always good just to have a, you know, a second opinion, we'll say. Put it right there. That one was not quite on the chair, but that's okay. We're gonna go to this exact spot where I was standing, and we're gonna prone out. So just to see if we get the same result, just want to try it twice. It may work, actually. No, so I guess, yeah, upon further inspection, it looks like proning doesn't work for this. I guess I was just like maybe a foot or two back, and that's what saved my life, but yeah, it does seem like the proning mechanic only works for frag grenades and nothing else. And of course, sticky bombs are a little bit different, as this is not going to go through the wall at all. Yeah, you won't take any damage from that. But the C4 will go through virtually everything. That is absolutely crazy. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you guys is actually 2 things. First of all, the Vss Shadow Buff is one of the most interesting things to me, and a lot of people have actually reported it as well. It's not just myself who's felt this. Now, I don't use the VSS a ton, to be quite honest, and it's unfortunate because we don't have a good before clip to compare this to. All we can really do is subjective experience. But basically, what I believe has happened, and according to myself and many others, that the horizontal recoil has almost been completely shredded on this weapon, and especially when firing in full auto. So I'm just going to show you just a rundown example of what it can look like. And of course, this is at a pretty fair distance here. The recoil is almost all vertical now, which, you know, with like shooting in short bursts, it's pretty dang accurate. Or at least it can be anyways. And that's the thing, is before the patch, it used to be just all over the place like such, but it was just, yeah, the thing is, if I had a good before clip to compare it to, I feel like we'd easily be able to tell. There is a lot of horizontal recoil at the end, which is, you know, obviously something to take in mind, but this is also running it with the cheek pad, which will, you know, help in that regard, but it is interesting nonetheless. Another thing I want to show you guys is the 6x scope. Now, this actually got, so this got changed a little bit, but we're not sure in how many ways. Now, just looking at the icon, it might look a little bit more odd to you than what you're used to. It's like more HD, and also some logos have been removed, so it's not clear as if this is the only change. Even the logo on just the actual model itself, when you put it on a gun, has also been taken off. But as far as I can tell, aiming down the sights, nothing really seems to be out of the ordinary. Any of these scope alignments don't seem to really be, you know, affected or anything like that. So it seems as if, to me, this was only a visual change. And this is actually the same reason they got rid of the energy drink logo as well, because probably due to some copyright issues or whatever. As far as functionality, the 6X doesn't seem to be any changed, but the icon has actually been adjusted. Same thing with the shotgun choke. Now, I'm not going to test this one on a shotgun because I don't believe this does anything differently, but the icon is certainly much different as well. So it seems like, to me, these two things had to get adjusted for maybe legal reasons, we'll say, but as far as gameplay is concerned, I don't think they're any different whatsoever. I wouldn't worry about those things, but the Vss Shadow Buff, I would definitely do some more research on if you're that interested. If this is a gun you play, I would certainly look into it. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys did find this interesting, and I hope you learned something from it as well. Now, if there are any other secret changes that you noticed that I may have missed in this video, definitely let me know, as I'm sure there's definitely a couple that I didn't include. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy today, please make sure to give the video a like rating, subscribe if you are brand new, and I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on with the new PUBG partner situation. A lot of new stuff coming your way, so be excited about it. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, everyone, and peace out.